hope that they do.
Well, I think there's something to be said if you have a very clean-looking record, too, right? That was something that I think Shiver actually mentioned. It might have been Shiver and T both saying the fact that, you know, these teams, even though you're sitting at the top spot, you still want to show, like, you know, you're consistent. That is the really big thing here.
And it's good to see that EXTREMUM, they came with a plan also today, right? They were like, we're going to do our Deucer strategy, which may not seem like, oh my god, such a plan, right? Or anything like that, but I see the wording that they did. You know, they blocked small camp, they get an aggressive observer ward, they cut all the trees. So you see Train Protector can't actually play on the side there because they did cut them all down here. So they came with a plan. They came just recognizing what they at least need to do to win the lane. I
feel like that, well, it could also be a little bit of a problem for our Hoodwink friend here, too, because he is also reliant a bit on trees.
Yeah.
But I guess in, like, the lane, you don't really matter quite as much, right?
Yeah, you can't let the tree do tree things in the lane, or you just get completely crushed on it. Mira, the Maledict, actually working pretty decently. We'll be okay, though. Does have a stun follow-up also. He's kind of toying with G a little bit here.
He's calculating this.
G's got to be careful. They've got the Gush coming in from the side, too.
Yeah, there's the Gush, and they just need to trade one more hit here, and Mira will outplay G.
The salve bait. Salves between the ticks, even though G was like, oh, I got a fairy fire. Ooh, that's a Gush. Uh-oh.
So off to a nice start here for the side of Team Spirit with the first blood.
Did soak the pressure, though, right? We see Medusa 7-3 because the Witch Doctor does die at the start, so at least she is getting that farm up in the top lane because of that.
I'll be interested to see the way that Team Spirit plays here, if they're going to try to go and like block the Ancients, try to get vision over on that area to make sure that they can keep tabs on this Medusa, or if they're just going to play too fast, if that makes any sense.
They can maybe get, they could look to invade, actually, with the puck and with, like, Treant. Treant is quite a decent hero. You just sneak in there quite easily. But their main timing is just, I think, like a 9-minute Roche. That's what you want to do with these Ursas. That's what we see the China strategy, too. You get that. You get Roche, you have, like, the Mormess, and then you pretty much get the Fusel, like, 2 or 3 minutes afterwards, and you just steamroll through, and that is looking like the approach that they want to take.
Okay, then give me a prediction. If Ursa gets this Roche early on, how long do you think this game's going to last?
I mean, probably like 28 minutes, 28, 31 minutes between there, something like that.
Okay, all right.
Because it's not about winning with the first Roche, it's winning with the second Roche, but it does make it that it respawns at that like 20-minute timer or something like that if you do get it at that early margin.
Now, see, if you were Kyle, you would also add something onto there and be like, I bet that, you know.
I will eat this paper cup if I...
if I am wrong.
I will not do that, no.
No, I would prefer that you don't, because that would not be very good for your digestive system.
Oh, is he going to get him?
Oh, Melojoule. They have the Fairy Fire, though, and he's taking some tower shots. Melojoule, no. He's going to behave over here on the side of Team Spirit Toronto Tokyo. Needing to be a little careful. Didn't have that regen.
Big fan of how both of them are playing the lane, though. It's full-out aggression. One side, no phase shift. Other side, no flame guard. They're both just literally going for the kill in the lane, which it is fun to see.
I like it. All right, well, Tokyo, he's got himself the salve. He's going to have those bottle charges, and he's making his way back to mid. And Ember does not have any more regen left on him at this time, so
yeah,
he's got to be careful.
Yeah, Melo's just got to be careful to not just get comboed here. We'll be able to back up and get himself his bounty rune. And I think, Tokyo only missed one creep, I think, while he backed up and away. So Melo took the more greedy route of staying around in the area for the creeps. All three lanes not looking bad right now for EXTREMUM. I'm actually surprised how well the Centaur is doing versus this Train. He actually, goes for living armor in the lane. That is very weird, actually, for me. Because you're playing as a melee character. I mean, he's just dead.
He's dead, yeah. The tree hanging in the trees, and you know what? Hoodwink enjoys that.
That's very weird. So the reasoning is because you usually skill the living armor if you have like a ranged carry that can't actually benefit from the pulses of the leech seed. So he's a melee hero versus a melee hero, and actually does not go for it. That is very interesting, because that's actually what we see. No, I keep mentioning China because they are the team that is playing it, but Lan M, he actually skills at level 1 when he has a melee carry rather than Nature's Grasp.
You can definitely see the value in it. Perhaps he's concerned maybe about some of the other lanes. Perhaps he wants to give Tokyo a little bit of an edge, so he's... I mean, they're both sitting just perfectly fine over here in this mid lane.
Yeah.
Both very aggressive, but...
not crazy about that one. But it's, you know, they have... I don't think they played the tree much on Spirit, if they have at all. So it is maybe something they are trying to get you the hang of.
It's definitely possible. We're usually seeing, you know, these sort of saving supports that Maposhka likes to play. Things that require a lot of just positioning as well.
Yeah, it does mean the lane's going worse, though, right? 22 last hits on Ursa, 27 on Centaur. Shashlo is free farming. So that lane not going as well as I think that they probably would have liked. The Ursa, as we said, was a weak laner, but I think the tree usually does counteract it. So EXTREMUM coming out nice and ahead here. Mira.
Ooh, nice sit there over towards those creeps. Won't have any more bounces land on him as G is taking so much damage here from these creeps and from Collapse as well. They're sitting very low. Let's be careful here.
Must have regen coming out of the courier if he's still sticking around there as a lion.
That's what I'd imagine.
And they can't get aggressive. Cannot get aggro. He's still holding a skill point. Miposhka may be waiting to see if he can find an opportunity for getting that leech seed if they do see a chance to go for him.
He's just gonna poke away over here at Chu. Let's be careful though. He's gonna get bushwhacked again in the rotation here, Sashlo.
He's slow.
Yeah, he's trying to get over there, trying to land that hoof stomp.
Should be able to. He's got it.
I think that pause to throw out the living armor might come back to bite him here, as Yatoro has made his way over though, so they'll end up losing Miposhka, but Chu, he's got the scurry. I think he's gonna survive this.
He will. The phase boots are up. Will he be able to catch him inside the trees? He will not. Chu scurries away, literally.
The squirrel has outwitted the bear today, Fogged.
Yes, he has. Yatoro, you gotta be quick on those. You saw the acorn, you know. That's the big thing too, is people still getting used to playing versus Hoodwink, but you gotta be quick with your Quelling Blades. Especially in those like areas where there's not the tree right next to you. If he's spamming it, maybe he doesn't actually get stunned there, but that's really tough to just predict every time. So nice stuff, EXTREMUM.
How do you feel about this Hoodwink? Because we've been seeing it pop up more and more. I know it's been very popular with MSS over in NA. He plays this here quite a bit, but we've seen like varying results. I know Rajix has played it over here, a couple of the other teams as well, but how does it fit? I think a lot of people are still figuring that out, right?
I'm still mixed. I think people still are not really like recognizing exactly like what items to build is one of the key things as support. I see some people going like the lens, some people rushing an Ags, some people going Yule Scepter. I think you have to just determine based on the game with what you're playing against. You can't just autopilot. That's the beauty of Dota. It's always adjusting based on what you're playing against. I think this game, the Yules is actually quite appropriate. Playing versus Ursa, it's always going to be a nice way versus that Enrage.
I'm dead.
So I think he can go for something along those lines if he does get the farm. So
What do you know?
I'm okay with the hero. I don't know. He's a little underwhelming, but you're very frustrating. Like, we even saw, like, Liquid yesterday, you know, this Soxa, even though they had such a rough game on OG, like, Soxa was still annoying. Like, they kept having, like, commit extra spells to try to catch him in tree lines. It's a frustrating hero to play versus.
Saw some excellent bushwhacks the other day, too, coming out from Soxa, so definitely value, especially, you know, for that little bit of crowd control. And the fact that it does make you blind is also just a really nice addition.
Yeah, frustrating.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
All three lanes, as we said. EXTREMUM coming out a little bit ahead mid. Not so much. Tokyo is having an excellent matchup there, as he tends to. Full aggression, as always. Well, I'd like to see it from Tokyo. No points phase shift.
Yeah, we have the level 6s online here for the mid heroes. I'll be interested to see if we're going to see some sort of rotation coming out. In fact, looks like Tokyo might be headed towards this top lane. They do have a ward, though, so I'll let them know if he does meander his way over.
He's just farming. He's just hitting that stack camp. Collapse. He's got a lot of regen up here. The Maledict not going to be that effective. He's going for the straight hood. He's actually got the hood done already, so should be able to continue to tank up there. Never will give him one more tap with the snake, but he'll be just fine. Yeah, I think they should. They do have the damage to make a rotation onto the Ember in particular because he has no points in Flame Guard that I've seen. So if they do get the coil, they have a rotation from the line. They can definitely net themselves a kill. But right now, trying to keep their lanes just static for now, not moving much around. However, on the side of EXTREMUM, the Ember is seeing an opportunity perhaps. But this is a hood Tidehunter.
It's not going to be able to take him down. So they'll open up, follow up with the Slight. That Mystic Snake and Collapse is just slowly walking away. Did put a point in the Ravage. He's got some stick charges too. They're going to try to go for a dive with this Illusion Rune. He's going to turn back around. Mira making his own rotation. They end up losing the Tidehunter, and Mira's just a little bit too late because they did have that Remnant up.
Nice move from Mello. Knowing that, I think he knows, right? Like, if you stay mid, it's a very high chance that you just get coiled and you will get set up on. So he makes the first move himself to gank top. Even though it's a hood Tidehunter, he's actually able to chase it through. First with that Maledict. And we see Chu. Of course, he's getting all these stacks set up for his Medusa already. EXTREMUM. Yeah, looking good in this early game.
Well, they know how dangerous it's going to be if they start to get behind at all with the aggression coming out from Team Spirit. So
it's all about fighting around that first Rosh. So it's also about, you know, Spirit actually going for that Rosh early on, which I'd imagine they have to when they go for this Ursa with the Morbid Mask already.
we are starting to hit that timing now of when we'd like to see the Ursa possibly going for that Rosh.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to keep our eyes on their movements.
He can just do it. He can sneak it at pretty much any point. They can like look to make a move on one side of the map, and then he just gets smoked into the pit, and he will solo kill it. So they're giving the lane to the Train Protector for now. You can't make it too obvious, though, right? You can't just like, hey, my 5 positions farming safe lane. Hey,
Right.
you know, I'm just gonna go for a Roche. They do have to look to make a play at the same time as it all happening.
And look at the EXTREMUM. They're hunting.
They
They're
are.
saying, where did that bear go? They're going to look for maybe a little bit of a pincer here on Miposhka as well.
Look at that. Both carries found a possessed mask. What a shocker. Every game, I swear, it always happens. They're rotating down
Yeah,
though, Tokyo.
looking to make something happen here. Tokyo will go, drop the Dream Coil. He can't even get the stomp off because he's just silenced too quickly. So Yatoro will get himself a nice kill. So they make a 4-man rotation down to this bottom area.
Did feel like they kind of need to start making some moves. EXTREMUM is coming out ahead in all 3 lanes.
Yeah. Well, this gives them a good excuse if they want to rotate that Ursa, you know? It's going to be a while before center meanders back to lane, and they don't have the greatest of vision.
Where's the rune spawn? Tokyo gets it again. So DD in.
stacks.
Ooh, baby. Those are massive.
Let's put some more pressure over here on the Tidehunter. Clap should be fine here. There's no one else to follow up, so he's just going to wander back.
He's chilling. They got high points in living armor too, so counteracts pretty much everything.
I'm surprised that they're still hanging out down here with the Ursa.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, I'm like waiting. I'm like, he's gotta, you know.
And timing
You
is...
want to go for it. The only reason is because you want to get the secondary spawn that much quicker, because then you get the shard as well.
Yeah.
So it just enables you so much more as these Ursas, and it pretty much guarantees your defusal timing.
But no, he's just kind of he might be farming his way towards this top lane, you know, trying to be as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
But when you see those stacks coming out here for an effort, you have to be a bit worried, especially if they decide to try to invade either. There's a nice couple stacks over there for the side of Spirit as well.
Joshua was trying to stack it, but that was way off timing.
Nah.
Not even close, actually. he like stopped his attack the first time, so we're forgiving that one. He's got Blink in a second. So, I mean, it is a very farmed Centaur. 11 minutes, he's going to have that for the aggressive moves.
Yeah, right now all the top 2
Is he smoking?
networks.
Let's look at Ursa. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
smoking.
okay.
There
It's
it
time.
is. It's time. So he's going to be able to sneak this. Like I said, I don't think EXTREMUM can actually contest it. They do have Blink Centaur, so if they knew, they actually probably could because of that timing, but it's going to die too fast. And you stay full HP. That's the thing with the Ursa, especially if you have a possessed mask on top, like we mentioned that he, of course, got the RNG for.
It's pretty perfect here. Medusa is just farming up all those stacks in the jungle. And
She can't touch the Ancients just yet, though. They're still a bit too strong for her to actually rotate over. But she's clearing the left side Ancients, or left side jungle camps. So there we go. Yeah, Roche. So 11 minutes 49. So early spawn will be around that 19:30 whatever minute time. So that'll be the big timing for Spirit, at least to really start overflowing the map. But they're already going to start pressuring.
look at Mira just running at G. Of course, they've got to
They've
figure
got
this
shot
out
low.
because they follow Massage low, get the break attend, and then they'll get the slide off, kill Mira. They're going to just go to town over here on Yatoro. And he's taking a lot of damage. They'll be able to pop the Aegis, coming right back up again. And they're going to need more team here. Immediately, following up with the Witch Doctor ulti, was rooted into place, but the rest of the team is trying to follow up. This Waning Rift coming out, the slide through, follow
Coils
up with
up
the
more.
Ravage over onto the backside. They're going to try to follow up, as Yatoro's going to barely stay alive, thanks to
slight-
that living armor.
Slight dodge the coil. So Tokyo, he can't actually get even a counter kill onto the Ember Spirit there. EXTREMUM perfectly set up for the move. They already had the Centaur waiting in the wings with that Blink Dagger. They came to play today.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Medusa now going to be able to clear out the Ancients, and she did. And we're up to level 11 already on Nefrit.
Yeah, EXTREMUM playing very, very nice here. As you can see, the bear just going to work on Roshan. He pops out, but like you said, EXTREMUM, they're already prepared. You can see Sashlo hiding in the tree line.
They were so ready
Blink
for this
Stomp.
move.
Stuns up, follow with the Hoodwink Ultimate. Slight.
Easy.
And that's the first dead bear.
Does live the second time, though, at the very least for Team Spirit. And they did have to use, right? They used Ravage and they used Coil. They didn't net themselves a kill on that rotation either. Yatoro, he's going to back up, finish up the Fusel. The rest, they're still farming well. We do see because of that move, the net worth actually shifted into their favor because of that Roshan kill.
Collapse.
This is a tough one here. He's just going to, yeah, he knows.
I like how he just turns around because an acorn gets flung at his head and he's like, what was that?
I was trying to think of some type of funny reference, but I'm not clever enough for some tide hunter, some fish versus squirrel thing, but I got nothing.
Yeah, that's a pretty
nothing.
difficult thing to have content already ready and waiting. Fish versus squirrel.
Let me message Lacoste. I'm sure he's got
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
But Nefrit's not getting contested whatsoever. Level 12, as we said, Manta, Possessed Mask, as always. He's going to have pretty good timing on this Aghanim Scepter, likely. So let's see what Spirit does, because the Diffusal, I believe, is now online. So they do have easy ways to actually kill and get on top of this Medusa. Also, not just for the Medusa. Diffusal, very good this game across the board versus the other cores, too.
But Extremum's the ones that are making the aggressive moves currently. They'll go grab the bounty runes. Spirit is hiding in the tree line. Sashlo getting into position. Nefrit and Yatro poking at each other, but again, we have that Diffusal, so Stone Gaze will come out. Spirit considers to rotate down to the bottom. They'll go for their own smoke play.
I was about to say, that was very bold by Nefrit, even showing up to the bottom lane. I feel like that's one of those like very risky ones. If you don't have a team behind you at all, you're very likely to just get killed there from like a tree in the tree lines, +1.
I mean, they're going in here. He's sitting on the low ground. Oh my goodness, the waning rift, the hex, the finger, everything. That's a dead Dusa.
An easy one, too.
Well, when you show yourself like that.
No coil even having to be committed. Still a very farmed Dusa, but a lot of time off the map now. 30 seconds. Let's see what Spirit does with it.
Sashlo feels like the teleports are coming in. Sashlo waiting patiently, does have that blink stomp. Should he decide to use it, G is here. All right, immediately, blink stomp like we talked about. Slight, and they just blow up Yatro.
Both carries getting caught off guard. That one was a bit slow of a reaction. Maybe didn't want to actually use the Enrage, but you can see the stomp. You know, as we said, the Centaur, it has a pretty long animation. Probably dies anyway because of the nice setup. Extremum, it cost them a lot of rotations, though. They actually brought 4 heroes bottom to do so. So Spirit, they can split push the side lanes.
Split push and farm up. You can see they're putting the pressure over on the mid tower here. And also Puck pushing out the lane and top. Poshka is left bottoms, trying to keep the tower alive, and they do have to hard commit for this sort of thing.
They do.
They can't just wander off with that living armor. Ooh, Chu
Found
finds him over on the side. You can see the teleports are coming out, but not sure if they're going to be able to get there in time. Yes, they go. They get the overgrowth off. Poshka does fall. Chu getting chased after. They're not going to be able to quite finish him, but Sashlo does fall. The Hex over on G collapses here. He's going to open up with this gush. Melodril trying to just get some slides off, trying to dissuade them, but they cannot do it. So G will fall.
They don't bring the Dusa bottom to go for the tower push. That's actually a bit weird. I feel like you need to have Nefrit there if you're going to commit that hard onto the tower, but they don't bring him, and now that tower, it's going to get healed up if they don't commit for it, so I feel like they actually have to just run directly back at that tower on the side of Extremum. And Team Spirit is going to know this is coming. So let's see if they set up to defend it even longer, if they're just going to ditch it. I think now that the Medusa's here, you ditch, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh!
Go for the deny?
He actually
the Mad Lad Mira.
between the ticks of the living armor as well.
Very nicely done.
Yeah.
But still, you look at this Medusa, 9.6k net worth currently, and it just continues to go up.
It has to. It's really all about the Dusa, as we said this game. Ember is actually farming pretty decent. Melodril, he'll be able to be annoying for this catch, but when you draft the Dusa, I think it's like the new Alchemist thing. When it's an Alchemist game, it's an Alchemist game. When it's a Medusa game, it's a Medusa game. So I'd like to see them build some type of buff, all the buff-up items. It's all about your Medusa, so Lotus Orb, Solar Crest, etc. all want to be thrown out onto this one, especially when you're playing versus these disables. Like Overgrowth in particular, because that can be annoying. Even if you have Manta, you have to be careful of how you do use it, because there's a lot of different little things, like silences that you have to play around, so. Because we're seeing Collapse, he's building for his carry. He's getting his first items, he's getting his Hood and his Sage, very value items, going for the Vlads, and then I'd imagine, yeah, Halberd, because that's the best item in the game versus a Medusa. So Spirit, they're recognizing how to counteract it.
Just continues to farm up in this mid lane. We do have the Ravage still on the Tidehunter. He's going to grab up the haste. He's going to run into some people here in a moment. Just runs at you, turns around like, yeah, no, all right. But they did have a nice word on the side as Nefrit is being run out again. Mira and Yatro are here. They're just going to stun her. They turn away, say, you know, you're beautiful, but they'll go for the skipping. Oh, but they follow up with the coil. Nice bushwhack, though. Buys them a little bit more time. Sasha's going to turn back around. Can they get the kill over on Stratotoku? Not quite yet as Yatro jumps in over to the side. Can they kill this Puck? They're just chasing chasing down Dusa. They managed to take down Dota2, but Nefrit also falling. Yatro's just running at Sashlo. He's got no mana left to speak of. Another nice bushwhack coming out from Chu. Buys just a bit more time. Now Mellow Jewel's trying to run away. No mana left on him either. Just running down here. They'll separate. They don't want that cast to bounce. They'll get a kill over on the courier. But it's already delivered Mellow Jewel's BKB.
And they do lose the Dusa with everything anyway. Actually lucky to not lose more. And they will at least get themselves 2 kills. But it's on their side of the map, so it's a fully defensive posture that they're going to be in. And already we see Spirit, they're forcing in the waves, as we see Maposhka bottom pushing it out. Good aggressive move. Nice bushwhacks, though, definitely. As we do see Yotaro, not quick with those quellings. You know, the secondary one he can't, but the first one he did see the acorn coming out. You actually do have a little bit of time to get that tree cut.
Well, like you said, this Hoodwink is a very annoying hero.
Yeah, very obnoxious. And he is going to go for Ags Rush, so he's having a very good game for himself. I was going to, you know, I could definitely see arguments for the Yules this time, since they are playing versus the Ursa, but he definitely just wants to play his own greed. See if it pays off. The boomerang is quite nice to work around, just amplifying everything, reduces status resist as well versus heroes like Ursa and Puck, so can be decent.
Get to make some wrapping play here.
They've got good ward vision. They did see Tokyo. They can catch him with a bushwhack from the tree line.
Tokyo's already regrouping with Mira, though. Feels like they know something's up, perhaps.
Their side lanes are pushed. Look at top. It's so far pushed in. They know this move is probably coming. Nobody's reacting to this at all. Miposhka's just been down here for the last 5 minutes.
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
It is.
I believe is the meme for that.
He's almost, he has Solar Crest. He's just been literally farming this whole time for it. So his Ursa going to be very buffed up. Vlad's and Solar Crest now on their team to make that Ursa that much stronger. And he's got SNY. This is a pretty big timing actually for Spirit. EXTREMUM has to be careful.
Stomp forward from Sashla. Blink onto the black lines though here. Coming out from Puck. They went to apply the break.
Collapse, don't care.
Just keeps getting turned to stone. Just running at Nefrit. Fight me.
Oh, the whole purpose of Collapse is really just to get on top of Deuce and click Anchor Smash, really at this point. And survive as long as he can inside the fights to keep those buffs up for the Ursa.
I mean, he's doing it. He's going to have that Ravage up in a moment, too.
Yep. And he's full health. That's the beautiful thing, is like Vlad's has these like double benefits when you're playing with a carry that wants to have it, and also when you're tied 100 period. They try to push, he just sits there. Tower gonna be full healed from the Treant Protector. So EXTREMUM, they're trying to make moves around the map, but Spirit knows how to play around it, and they're getting a lot more efficiency. 4K gold lead now already at this point.
Good stomp here coming out from Sashla, but there's no follow-up. The side of Spirit is all smoked up again. Collapse has just parked himself in this lane. Alicia has to be careful, as does Chu.
They can't do anything to him.
Oh, they know.
They do.
They've got their eyes on Nefrit here. Pushka again. That Stone Gaze will be forced to use the Stampede to run out Nefrit, but I hear Dream Coil on the top lane. Did they manage to grab someone? Yes, they grabbed Sashlo. So they're going to try to look for this fight here. Miposhka trying to get into position. Does get stoned up before he's able to get it off, though, as the Bushwhack comes into play. Yatoro is separated from the rest of the team, but over on the back lines. Break does land. Miposhka does fall. And they get the Witch Doctor ultimate off. Yatoro go for the Enrage. Everyone is just split up all over the place. Turn out to Tokyo, sitting very, very low. Should be able to orb out, though.
Ooh. Lucky to only lose the tree. Tokyo is so low, and it is around that Roche timing, as we said, that 20-minute-ish timing for the Ursa. Spirit, they tried to get some type of advantage play to get that, but they did force some ults, so I think Yotaro, he might be able to sneak his way in here.
Yeah, I don't think he's even sneaking. I think he's just strolling on in. They do see this, though.
Can they prevent it? They have to. The Shard, the Aegis, and the Cheese is way too strong on this type of snowball lineup with Ursa.
They do have Ravage available this time around, though, so Sashlo jumps in. They have a moment to just try to reset. Sashlo just gonna walk in, takes a peek.
They don't have Stampede either on the side of EXTREMUM, so the fight, it's not really there. No Stone Gaze, no Stampede. Those are your two big ultimates on their side.
I mean, these snakes have been catching pretty well, but like you said, this is definitely very precarious for the side of EXTREMUM. They've gone for the smoke. Jumping back in the pit.
That's a sneaky one.
Yeah,
Nefrit has to scout it.
Walking over to spot again.
But now he's
blink
up
forward
too
here
far.
from Yatoro. Gonna try to hex. Can they slow him down? They follow up with the Ravage. It will connect on many of them. They follow up with the finger. Not quite enough damage to take him down, but there's no mana left over here on this Deuce, so the slight's coming through. They'll be able to take down Nefrit. They take down Slashlow as well as the rest of EXTREMUM. They're gonna have to run out here. G falls. Yatoro gets himself a double kill, and this Roche belongs to the side of Spirit.
And that whole move that they made top makes so much more sense, right? They force Stone Gaze, they force reactions out of EXTREMUM, and then they can sneak into pit. and take the fight when they have their ults up. And there we go. Shard online, Aegis and Cheese. Ursa is a monster now. Could we actually see really quick which the talents that we did see for the Ursa after we get the replay, of course? As Nefert, we said like, he has to actually scout it, but his team is very far away from him at that point. So he's surrounded, gets his whole mana pool burned, and bam, Ravage catches absolutely everybody.
Poshka with the overgrowth too, just holding everyone in place. I think if Melojoul doesn't have that BKB there, he's also just absolutely dead.
Starting to look real hard already. And yeah, apologies. Could we actually look at the Ursa talents when you get a moment for me? Thank you. So I actually did not take the reset time, which is pretty interesting, because as we were mentioning, you know, that's one of the better ways versus a Medusa, because you just keep that swipe timing up so you can reset and go back in for the fights, but...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Opting to go for something a little bit different. He's playing very, very aggressively here. It feels like...
He doesn't need it.
I was about to say, I feel like with your foot on the gas, the way you're going, you just hope that doesn't come back to bite him in the butt. But the way Spirit's playing, still pretty neat.
No,
Tidy, 9k net worth lead. They're hitting their timings.
9-9, 9k net worth lead. Oh, beautiful. 6-1-1 on the Ursa, having an excellent game.
This poor Medusa isn't being allowed to play the game, it feels like.
No.
She's just basically, go hit creeps, Medusa. Show up to fights and immediately die.
And they don't. The thing is that they haven't. Where are the buff ups? They went greedy, right? Shu is going for an Aghanims. They're not going for any type of Lotus/Solar Crest, etc. to make sure that this Medusa is strong. And there goes Shu.
There he goes indeed, the bear, natural predator of squirrels.
I think he's really gonna regret trying to go for Aghanims this game.
Oh, Sashlo cancels out the TP at the very least. Not gonna be able to do anything beyond that.
Yeah,
Just frustrate Yatoro a little bit.
I really don't like the Ags rush at all this game on Hoodwink. I think it's actually quite grief. Rather than going for Solar Crest or anything to protect Medusa, Yules to get the Ursa off of the Medusa. Like, that's your job. As we said, it's a Medusa game. It has to be all about Medusa. I don't see what Boomerang does in this game. So yeah, not a fan of that one this time around.
Side of Extremum now, like you said, it's all about the Medusa, and they're positioning themselves right around Nefrit at all times now. Have to keep her safe.
Who actually is anyone even building for Solar?
I did not notice
so.
anyone working on Medallion or anything like that, as far as I could tell.
I don't think anyone on Extremum is actually going for any of those buff ups. Which, sure, like, it's a little different because Dusa is about the snake, but you need to, like I said, it's all about Dusa. You need to have these items to make her stronger. And Spirit recognizes that, and they're all itemizing to deal with Medusa. See that halberd done on the Tidehunter. He's got a plate mail, too. Like, look how physical, his physical HP is ridiculous now at this point on Collapse. So we have to say the EHP.
I have to say they've been very patient with the way that they've been holding their ultimates, looking for the perfect fight over on the side of Spirit.
It's clean again, as we kind of hope to expect from them. No goofing around, no funny business from them at all. Laning phase, of course, maybe not going as well as they would have liked, but it doesn't matter.
Oh gosh, they jump immediately and they just blow up Sashlo. That is not looking good. Mirror, though, also taking a lot of damage. They go for the overgrowth. He's actually still alive. Going forward there. Nice snipe coming out here from Chu, but now they've left behind their Ember is just toast. Melojoul will fall.
And I think that's the Ags on the puck, right? So, yeah, this is looking pretty impossible now. They've got all the solutions pretty much to deal with everyone. The Ember goes for a BKB to try to survive versus the Roots and all these like little silences and disables, but now he's just caught by that coil instantly. And now Basher up for Ursa too. Medusa can't even stand toe-to-toe with anybody now.
I mean, it was a valiant effort, and definitely you saw some beautiful stacking coming out from Extremum, but Team Spirit, they're just playing too fast for them now. They got each of those Roche timings over in the bottom lane here. They even go for the Ravage. He just turns around
That was beautiful.
because they want to make sure Nefrit doesn't go anywhere here. Gonna be able to go a little bit faster from Poshka's waiting, turns into stone, but the rest of the team, of course, is here. Chu trying to make a play, trying to see, can I keep her alive at all? Bushwhack buys just a tiny bit more time, as does the snake as it bounces around, turns them to stone. But the hunt is on Sashla, following up with a nice stop. They've turned back in, they're just working on this Medusa. The finger comes out, one more hit, Nefrit will fall. MG was left behind, will also get taken down. Sashlo, they've got the spider legs on Yatoro. He's looking for the angle. He wants to make sure he doesn't get bushwhacked again. Of course, he does end up getting held into play. Sashlo getting a stomp off, but the rest of the team, they're just wailing away over on the Centaur.
They can't fight. They have no hopes of being able to fight. 28 minutes, Moxie. What did I say? 28 to 31,
20,
right?
all right, let's see. We're starting to hit that time point, though. You know?
I honestly think the game is pretty much impossible for them here.
They gotta finish, though.
They gotta finish, though. That's fair. And EXTREMUM needs to GG out, which could happen. Tokyo, is he actually gonna scout him? Okay, he does scout him, and now they see the remnant.
Right past Yatoro. The BKB comes out.
The coil.
And they follow up.
Need
There it is. Nice bushwhack, though, as they throw out the boomerang. They take down Mir. Mello Jewel also to fall, though. They applied the break to Yatoro, but Yatoro, he's hungry. He wants Squirrel. And that is a dead shoe.
Whew. Relentless aggression coming out from Spirit. Even finding the poor Ember, who is trying to do some sneaky business. Can't even get away.
This map belongs to Team Spirit at this point. There is no breathing room. Look at this. G tries to just get a casual D ward collapse walking over.
Oh, they clipped the wave. They clipped the creep.
They want G.
Oh, they're bullying.
They are gonna get him.
Oh, they're straight bullying at this point now. He just wants the range creep, and they just glyph it for the bots. And this is, like we said, clean from Spirit. No messing around today.
This is a team that's hungry and wants to prove themselves at the major.
Yep. 15k gold lead. Shiva's now as well. Collapse getting some luxury items built up as we see scouting of the high grounds there with the gem. No vision available for the side of EXTREMUM because of this early gem pickup too.
It's very scary. Oh, Sashlo just spotted here.
Oh.
Tokyo and Yatoro.
Melted.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Time to be stuck in your base. They're gonna TP down the Ember.
Yeah, I don't know about that, friend. She's just trying to be annoying.
He's like, yeah, never mind. Actually, that is quite a scary tide.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower
All right.
is under attack.
30 minutes in now. Collapse just turns to stone briefly. Doesn't seem to care. Look at him. Just walks forward. Continues to hit the creeps. Tower goes down in the mid lane.
They're split in all 3 lanes. They're showing all 3 cores in all 3 lanes, and EXTREMUM can't punish it. That's when you know a game is very out of control. Bloodstone for Tokyo. I feel like that's just a that's a fun item. Full map control. EXTREMUM came with a plan, but Spirit, we see who's just the better team, just better execution across the board.
I mean, it wasn't even a bad plan necessarily when you look at the draft. It makes sense. It looks nice. But again, Team Spirit proving that they really do belong in that number 2 slot here, as they do have a lot of solutions. I think they're one of the few teams, remember, everyone was picking Beastmaster, and they're the first team to realize, oh, easy, just pick Storm.
Just pick Storm, counter it. Yeah,
they figure out these puzzles, and it's been really fun to watch them this season, honestly.
Hey, Moxie, when you're a young lad and you're able to binge out 20 games a day like these guys, you played versus it. Like Beastmaster and competitive, we played that already a million times. EXTREMUM feels like this one could be like a last-ditch effort here.
Look at Mira, the way he's positioned.
Because they saw that they're all split up, so they're trying to punish it.
They know someone's here. Immediate follow-up, Toronto Tokyo. They'll drop that Dream Coil. They'll just rip apart Sashlo. BKB does come out from the Deuce, though. Collapse trying to get into position here.
He broke
Dream
the coil.
Does snap as Collapse chases right past. They don't seem to really care. They're going after the Witch Doctor. G will fall. Now Nefert is left all alone, and he doesn't have any sort of mana left here as they just continuously wail on him with that diffuser, with the Ravage. Collapse will get the kill, and they'll follow up with the Overgrowth here, too. They're not letting this Ember get away. The GG gets called in. Fogged, you know, it's 31-48, but I'll let you have this one.
I'll take it.